Good day, medical doctors. Today we're going to talk about brownie points. Now, what the heck do brownie points have to do with the burnout of medical doctors? Well, listen up. There's some interesting research that I think can give you insight that is helpful. Just imagine you are at a children's birthday party and they do this game where there's a metal wire and a metal rod. And when you touch both, then there's a buzz going on. Remember? So when you finish the whole track with the hoops and loops and there's no buzz, you didn't touch, you had a steady hand, you get 2 brownie points. So you participate and you expect when you finish well that you get 2 brownie points. So you do so, you have a steady hand, and actually you get 3 brownie points. That's more than expected. At that point, a certain area in your brain is activated that gives you extra excitement and extra joy. And the hormones and neurotransmitters that are produced are giving you an extra good feeling. Now, the other way around works as well. So when you finish that track and you're doing really well, you have a steady hand and you finish without a buzz, you expect 2 brownie points, but you only get 1. What happens is that another part of your brain is activated and also creates different hormones and neurotransmitters. It gives you a feeling of disappointment, of sadness, negative feelings. While actually you performed in the same way, your achievement was exactly the same, but there was an expectation around it that made you feel different about the performance. And that is an important insight, because especially in medical care, the medical care discipline in itself has set expectations, certain expectations amongst peers of showing up in a certain way, performing in a certain way, achieving in a certain way. But also patients have pictured the physician as a person of total wisdom, a person of total strength, a person you can totally rely on, a person who can never be sick, her or himself. So that are expectations, high expectations, especially in the medical field, that any medical doctor never could live up to. The expectations about the brownie points, you will always miss out. And that sucks, of course. Because if you can never live up to it, then the brain will always produce those hormones and neurotransmitters that make us not feel good, instead of the excitement of doing so well. Because bottom line, when we look at it, medical care is doing quite well, right? Now, I'm absolutely no medical doctor, but I've seen a lot of medical doctors because of my jobs in hospitals, but especially because I visited a doctor, well, every month or multiple times a month with my parents. And we had interactions with doctors that were good, that were not so good, that were excellent, that were super great. Sometimes my parents were helped. Most of the cases, my parents were not helped. But really, we were quite sure that the medical doctors did the best that they could in that moment. We never doubted that. And although they lived for so many decades and decades with chronic diseases, because of medical care, they lived up into their 80s, and they were very grateful about it. And I'm very grateful about that. So I just want you to know that there are a lot of people so grateful that you guys live up to standards that are so good, even though that expectations within medical doctors themselves, and maybe that is you, are so high that you can never live up to it. And when you can never live up to it, there is a mental effect. There is a brain effect that contributes to burnout. And I just want to give you that insight, that it is all about expectations. If there were different expectations and you could easily live up to it, and you would get 3 brownie points instead of you expecting 2, and you would feel euphorious. You would feel very happy. And I think that is important to know. There's a lot of pressure in medical care. There's a lot of demand in medical care. And it is all about expectations that brings a mental pressure. And that mental pressure is what is real. It's real for the body. It's real for the hormones, for the neurotransmitters. It's real for upcoming disease. It is real for our mental presence, for our clarity, for being there for ourselves, showing up for other people. So it's really important to understand that we experience physical effects from the mental models. And those mental models may be an illusion, like an extra brownie point or missing out on a brownie point. So that was the consideration I want to bring to you today. See you next time.